Hello guys, how's everybody doing? It's Coach Henry with Crab Kicker Soccer, and today we're doing something a little different. What we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna have a little warm up, okay? Something that I usually do before the video starts. Sometimes I don't always do it, but sometimes I like to do it. And what we're gonna work on is how do you warm up before the game, right? We have to stretch, we have to get our muscles ready. We're leaving the car, right? We should be getting to the game at least 30 to 40 minutes before the game starts, so that we can get our muscles ready, so that we're once the whistle blows and we're in the game, we're already ready to go. We're at 100%. Our muscles are loose, and that way we can avoid injury and we can make sure that we're putting out our best performance that we possibly can while we're out there in the game, okay? And a little bit of that has to do with the preparation that you take before the game even begins, right? Staying hydrated, making sure that we're well nutrition, that we ate a good meal beforehand, but not too close to the game, right? Things like that, okay? But right now we're just gonna focus on the warm-up. All I got, and this is gonna be the whole entire warm-up, I got one cone right here, and about 10 feet away I got another cone over there, okay? And that's gonna pretty much that's gonna be everything that we're gonna need, okay? I also have a soccer ball because we're gonna be doing something at the very end, but that's pretty much it, okay? So a lot of this is gonna be jogging, stretching, doing little exercises and drills that can help us get the muscles ready that are gonna be incorporated once we're out there on the soccer field, okay? So let's go ahead, let's get started. The number one thing that I like to do here is start with just a little bit of jogging, okay? Let's try to get our breaths in. Let's try to loosen up. Let's try to shake off any pre-game nerves that we might have, okay? So here we go, guys. Just warming up, jogging up and back. We're gonna do this 3 times, okay? Ready, get set, go. Again, this is not a race, right? We're not trying to get too tired right now. Right now, we're just warming up. So we're jogging up and we're jogging back. There we go. Let's do one more, okay? But this time really try to emphasize balancing your arms and letting everything shake out, and imagine that if we're a little nervous, we're just shaking out those pre-game nerves. We're even doing a couple skips here and there, okay? So another jog up and back, ready, go. There we go. All right, we're gonna move on to the butt kickers, okay? Bringing the hands behind. We're gonna go like this, all the way up, all the way back. There we go. Now we're gonna move on to our high knees, bringing our knees up, and I like to bring my hands here so I have a good reference of where I want my knees to be bouncing up, okay? Ready, get set, go. All right, very similar, and the reason we're not starting with stretching is because we want to warm up the muscles before we start stretching, okay? So we're gonna be doing this similar to our butt kickers, except we're just gonna grab our heel like this, let it go, grab the other shin, let it go. We want to hold for about 2 to 3 seconds. It's not a race here. Remember that we're just warming up, okay? All the way up, all the way back. So bring the leg up, hold it, feel the stretch, and then drop the leg. Opposite foot, hold it, feel the stretch. And on the way up, try to point your toe down. On the way up, we can just let the leg be a little bit relaxed. Or when we're coming back, we want to hyperextend our toe. Right, we want to flex the toe. That's going to give you a different stretch if you're pointing your toe downwards, as opposed to just letting it hang there a little loose. There we go. And very good, okay? The next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna be hugging our knee, bringing our knee up and holding it, okay? And this is something that's very relaxed. We're not doing a lot of extraneous activity here, so this is a time where we might wanna think about things that we wanna do in the game because we're getting ready. We wanna prepare ourselves. We wanna get confidence and think positive thoughts, okay? So here we go. Holding the knee, hugging it for 2 to 3 seconds, and then letting it drop. Back, and remember, take your time. Remember to breathe here. Deep breaths, because we're going to be doing a lot of running if we're out there in the soccer game. And remember, all we're doing here, guys, and I'm showing you guys an example of how Coach Henry would go about warming up 20 to 30 minutes right before a game is going to start, okay? Next thing we're going to be doing is looking sideways here. We're going to jog. We're going to go sideways step all the way up, sideways step all the way back just like this. We're gonna do that 2 times, okay? And remember, I got about 10 feet of space here. Ready, set, go. Staying on our toes. Common mistake, don't let your heels click. Don't let your feet slam into each other on every step, and definitely don't let them cross, okay? So try that again, ready? All the way up. And all the way back. Very good work. All right, we're gonna do 1 jog up and back just to loosen up again. Ready, go. Down. And there we go. All right, now we're gonna be moving on to our high kicks just like this, okay? A little note about the high kicks is that we can do a little, we can have a little fun with this when we're doing the high kicks, okay? We can just go out there and just do high kicks, no worries, but we can also think about the angle at which we're swinging the legs up. So you'll see my right leg over here is gonna go straight up like that, and that's okay. I'm feeling a stretch there for sure. But we also want to take into consideration, sometimes we're coming across, okay? So you'll see that this kick right here goes straight up. This one goes across over here, just like that. And the third version would be going away from our body like that, okay? I like to incorporate a little bit of all 3 in there. I might start by doing high kick straight up, and then I'll go across my body again, and then I'll go away from my body, just like that, just so that I'm incorporating all the different angles, because you never know where your leg might be. You might be swinging this way, you might be swinging that way. We want to get everything warmed up, okay? So let's try that out. High kicks on the way up, high kicks on the way back, and try to experiment with the different angles, going straight up, going across, and going away from our body like that, okay? Ready, set, go. And really take your time. Oh, and I'm always staying on my toes when I'm doing these things too. So stay on your toes here. Nice and controlled. We're not rushing anything here. There we go. And there we go. And remember that if you're feeling something and it feels really good to warm up with that exercise, then keep doing it, okay? Because there's probably a reason that it feels really good. All right, so next thing we're gonna do, take a few steps. We're just gonna touch our toes, take our time, feel the stretch behind our legs, take a few steps, touch our toes again, okay? Ready? And go. And I'm sweating already, which is really good, okay? We should be sweating by the time we're done our warm-up. Not too much, right? We don't want to burn out all our energy, but a little bit is okay. Toes here, staying relaxed. There we go. Last one here. Boom, there we go. All right, so slightly different thing here, okay? Almost similar to what we were doing before, where we were high kicking, going forward. This time, this is actually a thing that I learned, it was about 1.5 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, I learned it. I'd been playing soccer my whole life. I've never seen this warm up. I went to go watch a college game, and I saw these people doing these things right here. Just like that, okay? They were taking a few steps and they were swinging their legs backwards. You came to find out it stretches a few things that are pretty important in soccer, okay? And it's actually a pretty common warm-up. So let's go ahead, let's try that out. Some players will even, when they swing their leg back, they'll touch their opposite toe like that. The leg goes up and then the hand goes down to touch the toes that's just balancing, okay? So you try that out, see what makes you comfortable. Ready, set, go. So just going backwards there. Nice and controlled, nothing too fast, nothing too slow either. There we go. And something we might want to take note of, right? Take notice, especially when you're young, you're not really going to notice this, but as we get older, right? So I noticed that when I swung my left leg backwards, felt all right, no worries. When I swung my right leg backwards, felt a little tight in my back and things like that, okay? And those are called muscle imbalances. As we get older, the more we play, our muscles grow differently, especially if we have an injury, we have to stay off a certain leg a certain time. Maybe that leg, you know, the muscles atrophy or something, they get weaker, and it causes imbalances, which can later cause even more injuries and things like that, okay? So we always want to pay attention. That's why things like yoga are really good, because it really makes sure that every muscle is finding balance and we're stretching and strengthening everything at an equilibrium or something. Okay, so let's go ahead. Next thing that we're going to be doing here is a fun one, another new thing that I learned about 2 years ago. We're going to go right hand here. This is my right hand. Touches the left inside of your foot there, okay? You're gonna take a few steps, staying on your toes. Left hand over here touches the right inside like that, okay? So we're gonna go like this, take a few steps, bam, take a few steps, bam, just like that, bringing the leg up, and just like that, giving it a little touch right there, nothing too hard. Ready, let's give it a shot. On your mark, and remember, it's the opposite hand, okay? And we're hitting the inside. Get set, go. All right, very similar thing here, except it's gonna be the same hand. Right hand touches the outside of the same foot. Left hand touches the outside of the left foot. And remember, take a few steps, stay on your toes, and breathe throughout the whole exercise. Outside, outside. All right, now that we warmed up that certain muscle here, okay, we're gonna slow it down a little bit, and we're gonna do a little stretch called the figure four. It's gonna look like this, okay? So as you saw with the very first exercise, we were touching the inside with our hand, and we were ending right here when we touched, okay? So we're actually gonna start right here. We're gonna bring our leg up here, we're gonna hold it, and we're gonna do a little squat just like that, okay? Take your time, feel the stretch, take a few steps forward. Again, the opposite the opposite foot comes up. We're gonna hold it here, okay? Try to find a stretch. I like to rest it a little bit on my knee there. I bend my leg there so that it can kind of sit there. This takes a little bit of balance. And then the stretch, I feel it like right here, okay? Kind of close to the butt there, okay? Right over there on the side, and it feels really, really good, okay? So take your time here, take a few steps. We're gonna go like this, bend, take a few steps, and again, stretch. And this is something that we just did. We went like this, we warmed up the muscle, now we're stretching it, okay? Ready? Go. So again, bring the leg up, bend. And like I said, if it feels good, it's okay to take an extra second there, okay? Take your time here. Because remember, we're warming up. We're about to, in theory, we would be playing a game soon, so we don't want to go too crazy here. There we go, very good work. All right, and shake it out just like that, okay? Right now, as we're taking a break, just because I thought of it, I don't want to forget it, let's do a couple swings here, okay? I think it's very important that we do these because people forget that a lot of soccer is actually in your core. It's actually a lot in your back. People think that it's all legs, but as I'm going up to kick the ball, naturally my leg will swing, and then there's a twist here. I've had games where I leave the game, the next day I wake up and my abs are sore, and it's not because I was doing crunches, it's because I was going in, I was taking shots, I was bending here, right? I was crunching my core, maybe I was turning, things like that. That's why it's good to get a couple twists here, just like that, bending the knees, nothing too crazy there, okay? So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna be doing some arm swings. We're gonna be jogging up and back. We're gonna start by swinging our arms forward like this together with a little bit of a bounce as we're going. You're gonna see that's a little difficult. It's a lot harder than you would think to be moving and jogging and swinging your arms forward. but let's give it a shot, okay? Remember, swinging forward first, and then we're gonna do it again, swinging backwards, okay? Ready? Hands together, on your mark, get set, go. Still swinging forward, all the way back. And on the second round, we're gonna go backwards here, swinging the arms backwards. There we go. And another stretch I like to do are my hugs here, okay? As I'm stretching this, I'm stretching when I bring them in here, okay? And I'm also stretching as I bring my arms out here, okay? And the reason we're stretching our arms is, again, soccer is not all legs. Again, I've had games where I leave the game, the next day I wake up and my arms are sore, my shoulders are sore, and I'm like, why are my arms sore? And it's because as we get older, we have really big players that are trying to push you off the ball, and you have to do a little bit of this. Nothing that's fouling, nothing that's dirty, but we have to do that. We have to protect the ball by bringing our arms up, and that's why we want to stretch out our arms. We want to get them warmed up, okay? So here's what we're going to do next. We're going to be sprinting all the way up and then back-pedaling back, okay? Actually, that's the last thing. We're going to do one more thing. We're going to lunge, okay? We're going to take big, long steps like this. Lunge, hold it, 1, 2, 3. And again, next, take a few steps, lunge again, nice and controlled. Avoid doing these mistakes here. Avoid holding your leg here if we can, right? If you absolutely have to, then you have to do it. But if we can, we want to stay up here. Maybe we do a little hip swing like that. And let's just try it out. And again, don't rush it. Way too many players I see rushing the warm-up. Take your time here, okay? Long steps. Make sure that the knee doesn't pass the leg there, okay? You can just experiment with it because it stretches two different things out, okay? So ready, set, go. So nice and controlled. 1, 2, 3. I feel it. I'll talk about it when I get back. There we go. And sometimes you would even do it again, except you would swing on every single one. And you get a different stretch. You get 2 different stretches. If your knee is behind your toe, then I feel the stretch more over here on my opposite leg, that's backwards. But if I bring my toe down and I stretch this knee past my toe, then I feel it more on this leg. And those are different stretches that we do, okay? So now that I warmed up, typically, well, let's do this exercise first up. We're gonna run up, then we're gonna back pedal back, but on the run up, I wanna see you sprint, okay? We're going full speed here. Sprint all the way up, back pedal backwards. We're gonna do that 3 times. Try to make every sprint faster than the last one, okay? Ready? Get set, go. Back pedal, nice and controlled. And up. Last one here, all the way up with speed. There we go, beautiful stuff, okay? So like I said, once I'm warmed up, then I would go in to my stretch. We're not gonna do that right now. Maybe a different video, we'll go into the stretching, because stretching, again, stretching would actually take me another 10 to 15 minutes if I'm doing it properly. We already went 20 minutes, and you're thinking, what, another 15 minutes? That's like 40 minutes. And that's what you should be doing. Soccer players, especially the professionals, will show up an hour before and they're warming up. And again, when we're doing this, it's very important that we find the balance between getting our energy up, getting our heart rate up, getting our muscles loose and stuff, but not doing so much that we're tired by the time the game starts, okay? And then we also want to stay calm. We want to do deep breathing. We want to find our Zen mode, right? Relax. If we're nervous, we want to calm down and stay tranquil almost, if you want to think about it, but you don't want to go too far in where you're too relaxed and then the game starts and you're having to sprint up and back and then you're not ready for that, okay? So there's a fine balance between doing both, okay? And the whole entire time as I would be warming up, I would be making sure that I'm hydrated, because as you can see, I'm sweating, and once I would start my game, I would expect that I would be sweating a whole lot, and I'm gonna lose that water that my body has, and so I would want to make sure that I have enough reserves in my body to sweat that, to sweat and still have water in my body to function properly and function at the best possible ability that I can. Okay, so that's my little warm-up, guys. Again, it's just a little something. Everyone does everything differently. Every soccer player likes certain exercises more than the others. And what I would do after is I would juggle for about 5 minutes. That's something I'll do by myself. I personally, before games, I like to, you know, think about what I'm doing before the game. I like to be by myself for a little bit, juggle, stay calm, think about what the goals I want to accomplish in the game, and then afterwards I might go up with my team. We'll pass the ball around, we'll do some shooting, we'll goof around a little bit. It's always fun to joke around, you know. And everyone's different. Like I said, some players like to joke around the whole entire time and then start the game and they're super serious, and other players are super serious the whole entire time. Throughout the warm-ups, they're 100% focused, and that's different for every player, okay? Which is okay, as long as you find what works best for you and you get a proper warm-up and you make sure that everything that you do is making sure that you're not getting injured during the game, because that's probably one of the most important things about warming up, is that we're trying to prevent injuries, because we want to spend more time on the soccer field and less time, you know, recovering from injuries and stuff like that, okay? So I'm Coach Henry, guys, reminding you guys that we have a camp actually right here in Perry Hall coming up this week. If you guys are interested, you guys can register at www.crabkickers.com. You guys can follow us on Facebook and on Instagram. Comment below if you guys want to see a certain video for the next thing, a certain topic, and I will make sure that I get that through to you guys. And if you guys enjoyed it, remember to like and remember to share the video so that everyone can see and everyone can warm up properly and go out there and play the best possible game that they can, okay? So adios, guys. Heading out because I got to go coach a crab kicker session. All right, take care, guys. Be safe.